Rightio tubers, welcome back. A bit of a random live feed, I guess. It has taken me about 2 hours to get my internet to work. Go me. I got the Stream Deck Mini I'm going to be playing with today, having a bit of a tinker, seeing if I can get that to do a better live stream. Who knows? So, yeah. How's it all going? It's been a while. Don't even know if anybody's actually watching, or I can't see the pop out. I can't see the chat. Is there a chat? There doesn't seem to be a chat. Excellent. I may as well go home. Technically speaking, I am home. Oh no, here we go. Something's happening. Restore the chat. The live chat's not working at my end. I've got to do a pop out chat. That's fine. Reload that. Maybe that'll work. It's probably going to crash the whole stream, right? Oh no, there we go. That's working now. Dave, here we go. Evening. How is everyone today? Concurrent viewers. Oh wow, they've actually changed all this. That's pretty cool. I can see analytics now. The sound is low. Okay, I can't turn that up anymore. That's it. Mic web Logitech mic. Why isn't that turned up? Is it really low? No, it's not. Dave's Tech. Is it really that low, or is it just you? It's turned all the way up at my end and it's not clipping. So how the hell is everyone today? I've been a bit quiet on the live feeds lately because, well, life. I don't really have a plan for what today's live feed is. I was going to open this, so I may as well just go ahead and open this because I've had it for 2 weeks and I have not. And it's still quiet. What is it? Good afternoon. I can't make it any noisier. I can't make it like the volume. That's it. Is that better? Maybe if I turn the fan off behind me. Volume's all the way up. There's nothing I can do. Unless it's my headphones. The volume's not going through my headphones. I don't know if that'll actually work. Will that work? 1 2 1 2 testing. Really should set this stuff up before I do anything, right? No, you know what? I'm not using headphones. I'm just going to have to run with it. I'll go and turn the fan off. That might be better. At least with the fan off, there'll be less background noise. I guess I could talk louder, but... Rightio, how's it going, Pete? Chris, welcome. Good on my end. Bad headphones. Must have lithium in his ears. Talk about Cybertruck. Seems like a popular clickbait thing. Nah, that Cybertruck is ugly. But let's face it, Elon has a unique way of marketing something. I mean, the entire frigging world is talking about an ugly truck. Go figure. And I mean, it's ugly. It's not even, it might be functional, but it's friggin' ugly. Rightio. This is the epic unboxing of the Stream Deck Mini. Link in the description below if you want to shill some of my products. Oh wow, that's actually really neat. So we should put that on camera somewhere so you can actually see it. Put it up there. Anyway. Stream Deck Mini. I'm not actually going to set this up live on camera because that would be crazy. It would take all of my attention away from you guys. That's pretty cool. Stream Deck Mini. Because I'm going to probably have to do some setup with OBS, and of course I'm streaming with OBS, so that is going to be problematic at the very least. Elgato. Oh yeah, so that's a really big box for a really small item, which seems like it's typical in today's day and age. Is there enough light in the background? Is that like glowing well enough? No change. Listening on my mobile sounds fine. Wear headphones and I'll call you. PewDiePie. Hello guys. Overhead cam. Yes, it's ugly truck and knows about ugly trucks with the well said. It's Friday afternoon here in Los Angeles, CA. There we go. Damn time zones. DIY project having trouble with the audio. What the hell is the problem with the audio? I really can't. I can't do anything about it. Is this the audio? Can you hear the tapping sound? Because that looks like it's the Logitech webcam isn't working with audio. It's some other one. Who knows? Yeah, DIY. You can get cells from our good friend Tom Amarin. I think that's how it's pronounced. Over at batteryhookup.com, and then you can even use my discount code. We're setting up Stream Deck Mini. I didn't actually realize that there's actually like a video screen or something, LEDs or something behind there. Stream Deck Mini is set up and is ready to go. Of course, that's probably only the first part of what you have to do to set it up. I haven't even read the instructions. Don't think I'll be doing that live on camera. Pete doesn't do instructions. Yeah, I've got to set it up with OBS. Anyways, the light is good. Where can I get some lithium cells? Cheap. Audio is okay. Yes, the audio fine. Germany, that's the source. Is it just farther away? It's only like that far, like the tip of my fingers. So it's the same amount as it always is. Hi from Puerto Rico. What's that? It's a Stream Deck Mini. Elgato Stream Deck Mini. Link in the description below. It's so I can actually, when I'm doing a live feed, instead of having to do like manual clicks on the screen, I can just click a button and it automatically changes or transitions to a different shot. Overhead cam. I can change to a camera back there. Screen capture, like, you know, program capture or whatever. It'll do it all. What's your discount code, mate? Thank you. It is Powerwalls with a capital P is my discount code, and it's 10% on batteryhookup.com. You don't even need to use an affiliate link if you do not wish. And if you do wish, I would appreciate it, and I probably should put it below. In fact, I will stop this live feed right now. Well, I'm not going to stop it. Don't be stupid, Pete. Stream settings, stream help, merchandise. I can't update the description. Edit. Can I update the description on the fly? That'll be an interesting test. What is it? Battery hookup. Discount. SDISCOUNTCODE. Powers with capital POWERWALLS. One thing I am very grateful for is I learned to type. I just can't do it accurately. Save. Rightio, I wonder if can someone check the description below? They might have to refresh the stream and see if it's got battery hookup up the top. That'll help me learn something new. Puerto Rico, what's your discount code? Battery hookup, right, mate. Say it again, please, too fast. Battery hookup. Light is fine. Thank you, DIY products. Don't stop the live. I'm not stopping the live feed. It was a play on word. Well, not even a play on words. It was how I said something. I got a like and a sub. There you go. Liked and subscribed. What BMS do you like in a 5S? I don't know. I think Baytrim would be overkill for a 5S unless it was a considerably big pack or you wanted, what do you call it? Good tracking. I see battery hookup link. Awesome. Thank you very much, Chris, for answering that question. At least now I know I can do that. I've been playing with my bees a lot lately and trying to get some really good shots of my bees flying around, which has been entertaining me greatly. But it takes a lot of time to get a decent photograph of a bee. Any Any plans for Christmas? Yes. Plans for Christmas. I started to plan. I was going to jump on a plane and go to America for a couple of days. Because literally couple of days is all I can afford. But then I thought, well, I like the plane trip alone for 4 of us is going to cost $8,000. And I thought, we'll jump on a plane, we'll go over there, we'll shake Tom's hand, we'll come home again. But I thought for that much money, it's madness. So what I'm probably going to do is wait 12 months, save up a lot more, and then fly over to America and have a decent holiday over there. I'll either go by myself or with my wife. If I go by myself, I'll probably road trip it and see how many of you guys I can actually stop in at sort of on a pass through the country somehow. I don't know how that'll work. But that'd be good if I could sort of make the trip pay for itself with YouTube views and stuff like that. I don't think that's possible with my Chai's channel, but it'd be fun to try. And I really want to go and see Tom at Battery Hookup as well. Don't stop the live feed, Battery Hookup. Any plans with the Christmas? How's the Powerwall build behind you? All running. No, it is still not running. I haven't really gotten too much further. I had to do the whole I'm working thing. There you go. And all that I've been doing is working lately. And coming up to Christmas, at a certain time, it starts to drop off. The plan is today, I want to finish that video. Well, at least make that usable by the end of the day. Hopefully have that one released Monday. But I'm going to do another short one today because it's going to be 41 degrees. It's going to be really hot today here. So I thought that would be a really good opportunity. And let me know if you don't think it is a good idea to pop the covers off those PIP inverters. And I've had them running down there for, don't quote me, I keep getting this time frame wrong, maybe 3 or 4 years, in between 2 and 3 years, maybe a little bit longer on one of them. So I was planning on popping the covers off those pips and having a look around inside, blowing them all out, giving them a really good dust and a good service, visual inspection, because obviously it's 240 volts, so I can't actually touch anything in there, and check the fans and stuff, see if any fans might need replacing, or seeing if I do need to order some spare fans as they are getting on a little bit. I'd also like to explore or understand better the reasoning for the hot air blowing out the bottom rather than out the top. Kind of makes me scratch my head that they've got the air inlet at the top of the inverter, and then the hot air out the bottom. It doesn't make, there must be an engineering reason behind it, but I'd like to sort of understand that a little bit better. So it's 25 degrees Celsius now at the moment here. And the temperature is going to rise pretty quickly. 11 o'clock, 36. Now, of course, that 36 at 11 o'clock is out there. In this shed, it will probably crack 45 degrees, I reckon, before lunch. So that is not very pleasant at all. You already have Saturday morning. I'm still Friday night here. Just... F2F finished, late shift. What's F2F? Yeah, I feel you, work always gets in the way. I don't think it always gets in the way, but it is certainly more important than tubing. Dave, hey, welcome, buddy. 106 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's hot. It's pretty warm. I think, what is it? They reckon it was going to be 42 today. But it depends on where you are too, because this is just an app on your phone. Realistically, it can be much hotter than that. My trees. I think on the live feed a few months ago we started talking about trees, and I was saying I don't have too many. So I started planting a lot of trees, and unfortunately, I planted a mango tree and a avocado tree. Useful trees, not useless trees. And the mango tree died. I'm no arborist or a plant person, and the avocado tree is just wilted away to almost nothing. I've been watering it like 5 times a day. I've got shade cloth over it now and everything. It's just so hot. It's just killing everything. So, and I'm going out to the farm tomorrow to do some upgrades at the farm. I've got to change the pump around. I'm going to put the pump on the batteries rather than its own standalone system. What we got? Hey, good morning, afternoon, good evening, Thana from Greece. Welcome. What's your discount code, mate? It is Powerwalls with a capital P. 50 kilometers away, and we're at 28 already. What? Shit. I don't know. It's warm in here, but it's not hot yet, so that's kind of good. You should try cannabis plants. We'll probably kill that too, and all the federal police would. Your batteries are, yes, David's are BYD. Got a huge order today. Lots of electric buses, a future source of batteries. That's pretty cool. If they don't like the soil, they can easily dormant for up to 10 years. What can be dormant for 10 years? The avocado trees. The avocado tree is probably a metre tall, or at least it was before all the top died off of it. DIY projects, that's the band. So have we got any new members here? We've got a heap of people in the room. Whereabouts you all from? Be keen to know where you're from, what you're doing this weekend, why people can't use the like or dislike button is beyond me. No, there's a hint. No, I really want to do this stream deck, but I don't think it's going to work on camera. Wayne, how are you going with your project, mate? Is that PIP after you had the motherboard replaced under warranty still going well? A new tree. Oh, there you go. No, the tree went really well. As soon as I planted it in the ground, it absolutely took off. But as it got hotter, it just stopped. And it had been in a pot for about 2.5 years, so it had a really good root system. 6 knots from Gold Coast to Australia. What are you working on today? 6 knots. I just went through that. It will be up, finishing that video, getting that up and running, and then pulling my pips apart and checking the fans and stuff in them. The fans and stuff in them is probably going to be the first thing I do, rather than this video, just because it actually needs doing. It's been many years they've been running 24/7, and I want them to keep running for another couple of years. If I can get 5 full years out of each of those pips, I'd be stoked. And that really makes them profitable, buying them in the first place. Yep, warranty went smooth and it's been running perfectly ever since. Pulling 1.2. I don't even know whether my Batrium, well, not my Batrium per se, but my batteries are computers working down there. Because I had to restart my entire freaking network and reset everything just to be able to do this live feed. So, wait a minute, let's start. I don't even know how much I'm using. I know I've been using aircons all night. Can you explain how to make a battery pack? For example, 24 volt 4S13P. No, not on camera. There's too many variables. And I think too many people do that. And not take into account the current draw and the temperature and vibrations, and whether it's a static setup or a mobile setup, whether you want cell level fuses or not, amp draw for the cells themselves, would you want nickel strip or fuses, or Tom's fuse nickel strip. There's too many variables to actually explain that on camera, Dwayne, I'm sorry. And the internet's not working down in the power shed. Excellent, that's what I like to see. The one time that I like to show my Batrium stuff and it's not connecting. Excellent. I'm pulling about 1200 watts. We pull at night time. I think I do about 12 or 1300 watts all night with the aircon on. So it uses a fair bit of power during the night, but may as well run it. We got the power. The batteries are sort of charging off every day, but we just use more and more power, so it works well. What about smaller voltage? Yeah, I'm still not comfortable doing that on camera because I'm no expert, Dwayne. I'm really the sort of person that has to research everything that I do when I actually do it. It's not something that I don't know if the word's comfortable, but I'm not proficient enough with the information, so it's probably not wise for me to do it. I know my limitations, there we go, and that's certainly one of them. Even stuff like this, it slows me down building this pack and that pack. I'll reach all the way over there. Because I've got to keep researching everything and printing all the documentation out to make sure I do it right. And I mean, I've done the Watchmon stuff so many times, but I still go back to their website and print the documentation just in case it's been updated, because there's a lot of work being done with that. So I'm absolutely no expert. But what I'm going to do is a community spot welder, the K-Weld spot welder. I basically, because this gets borrowed a lot, right? This battery is got tape all over it from the last person to borrow it. Dave, did you put tape all over my battery? I just pulled the sticker off. We're just going to leave that on. This gets borrowed a huge amount lately. The community spot welder. And we've got the T8 that charges it up. So the T8 goes out with it. And I always give a quick lesson. It goes with the battery. It goes with the LiPo safe bag for the battery. Obviously the K-Weld itself. And then it goes with, where's my charger thing? It goes with like the external power supply. So that goes with it as well, so you can actually charge it all off. Moving forward, I'm going to also add a 6, I think it's a 6S or 8S, little battery bank and a fan, so I can keep the electrodes cool and the battery. But what I'm going to do is people that are borrowing it moving forward, I say borrowing it lightly because this has been used so many times. I want to buy a second battery, but they're $120 or something. So I'm going to start up the community spot welder key code thing for eBay, so that can actually buy another battery for the community spot welder. So if you want to be part of that, that's absolutely free to borrow. You can come and get that whatever you want. The only rule is you've got to get a selfie with my wall and post it on Facebook. That just makes you accountable, says that you're here, and sort of, you know, I borrowed it and I'll bring it back. So that is there as well. And that, of course, that's the K-Weld community spot welder. I should rename that to the K-Weld community spot welder. Wouldn't that be right, Keith, from 18650shrink.com? Oh yeah, there's my plug for that. I'm going to try and plug that every time. And I've also got a whole heap of crimping tools and all that sort of stuff, hydraulic crimpers. So if anybody ever wants to borrow that stuff, the way I look at that is you guys paid for it anyway with affiliate links and views and all that sort of stuff. So if you really need to borrow tools, if you're local, of course, feel free to pop on over and grab them for a day or a week or however long you need it, as long as it's not too long, and we can move from there. Wayne, I'm currently back on a shucking and testing cells. I've got a bunch of 50 or so single Samsung cells and a dozen laptop batteries to process. I've still got a bunch of laptop batteries down there to process, but the real problem with it is they're those terrible ones to shuck. They're just hell on my hands, and I just can't be bothered. I'll wait to get some easy ones. Evening there, Pete. Welcome, mate. Rath from the UK, or Rath UK. Thana, there are tons of videos on YouTube about battery building. That's another valid point. Have you got any videos on making a pack? Yes, I have. Have a look at half of them. I don't know offhand. There are heaps out there, but I don't know how many are pertaining to what you actually need. Yeah, good advice. Hey man, welcome Mike. Good morning. Hey all. I didn't think I put tape on items. I have no idea. It might have been the last person, Dave. I don't know. Dave Knowles was actually the last one that popped around. And hey, you didn't share your selfie. What's the deal with that? Was it bad? Was it? Your community spot welder over on DIY Powerwalls Facebook group. That's something I was going to do. I was going to point DIYPowerwall.com to the Facebook group to make it easier to share and find. I shall do that. So DIYPowerwall.com, sometime in the next 24 hours, will point to the Facebook group. And then DIY Powerwalls, with an S, will go to the forum. That's a good idea. I should do that. Of course, I'm sitting here going, Mike will probably have it done before I do it, but don't do it, Mike. I've got this. I won't break anything, I promise. Oh shit, I will do it soon. Got blocked. Hey man, hey, I didn't think I put tape on it. The battery bank is 6P, not S. I always get my PSs wrong and SPs. But yes, I hear you. I should be using the correct terminology. I just sold an adapter to connect 10 XT60 to my XT90 spot welder connector. That's not even a bad idea. That's one thing I didn't put any thought into, is how I'm going to actually run two batteries. Because I want to run two batteries at a time, so it reduces the heat in the battery. Because I promise you, that battery gets warm. Because the K-weld spot welder, you can weld so fast with it. You whack it in auto mode and then just start tapping it and it just goes. I use 8x2200 3S LiPo. That will work. Oh shit, I'll do it soon. How durable the Powerwall is? Well, it's still going after many years. I will actually work out how long it's been running, but I think it's 3 or 4 years, maybe 3 years since I first commissioned it. Wow, the cleanup shop video room looks amazing. Yes, I'm actually really happy with it. This wall still isn't painted; it's still raw, and perhaps something I could do that this weekend. I'm trying to find another one of these monitors. It's a BenQ G2420 HD monitors, because I want to put a third one here, and then I can run HDMI cables or DVI cables out of the bottom of each one, and then do either three computers here, or I've got a card there that can do a couple more outputs. So I could also run 3 monitors up there if I want to look like a complete wanker when I'm doing a live feed. Who knows? How big should I make my Powerwall to power my electricity in my office? That depends on how much electricity you use in 24-hour period and what your peak loads are, Dwayne. How durable is Powerwall is? How many cells can you weld before the electrodes get too hot to hold? I can tell you exactly. Is that cells you can weld? How many can you weld? Okay, so the cell has 2 spot welds on it, right? 4 contact points. So I can do 160 spot welds, and the electrodes are proper hot. I'm talking probably gonna 3rd degree burn your hands if you hold on to them much longer. But I find with the little fan just blowing, even if it's like a meter away and just blowing air across the work area, it can almost double the amount of welds you do. But the electrodes, they're not very well, they are insulated, I guess. They've got that rubber coating on them, but that gets really, really hot. But it doesn't take very long for that heat to disappear. You're only talking a matter of a few minutes with the fan on it, even on low, to actually push that heat away from the electrodes. And then you can just keep going again. Of course, it heats up faster the second time, but if you also slow down your spot welding rate, it's awesome as well. First time chat you live, welcome very much. I can't pronounce your name. I don't want to pronounce your name for fear of getting it wrong, so Brody. Man, the K-Weld is quick. I'd still be soldering a week later if it wasn't for the K-Weld and Pete. You're welcome, Dave. I'm glad I could save you some time. I reckon even the drive over here was still quicker. Nice new setup, looking clean. Yes, I still don't know what I'm going to do with the table because that board is now bowing. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I need to do something. Bunnings have like cheap legs, and I was thinking about just getting 3 legs and a nice piece of thick marine ply or something and just building out a nice heavy table over there. But it's strange, I still don't feel like I have enough room. As soon as I set up all the lights, because I've got a light there, that's a light. So that's sort of just, I was trying to highlight the power wall a little bit. And then I've got another light here, trying to, that one there, trying to make me look, and that's the door. Trying to make it all look a little bit even and consistent. But I'm not sure, well, I am sure it could be done better, I just don't know how to do it. So, I need to move my chat underneath. I wonder if I can move that around in there. I can't. Pop out chat. If I move that underneath the camera, at least it looks like I'm paying attention to you guys. Scroll that down a little bit, make that bigger. There you go. Monitors aren't 40-inch UHD TVs monitors in Australia yet. These monitors were all free, so it doesn't matter. A lot of my monitors get left with me from customers and stuff that have moved from from desktop PCs, or their desktop PC have failed, and they just say, well, I don't need them. And instead of throwing, because a lot of them would just go and put it in the wheelie bin out the front yard, and that drives me crazy. So they often drop them off here, and I either use them for myself or donate them to, there's a what do you call it, a retirement community up there. There's also a couple of preschools and stuff that I work for, and some of this sort of stuff that's still usable and it's not going to have any noticeable warranty issues, because if it stops working for them, you just recycle it and away you go. So a lot of the times the old monitors and stuff I get for free that I haven't passed on to somebody else. I could probably, it'd be cool to have a couple of TVs up there, but I've had a TV up there before and it's not as practical. I don't need a massive TV. I mean, it looks good for film, but it doesn't serve a purpose. Whereas these are highly functional, where I can plug a laptop in if I've got a laptop screen that doesn't work, and the computer needs a service before the screen gets into stock. I can actually service it and get it done faster. So it does work very well. You just need to put some 2x4 under it and it won't bow like that. No, I know that, but I wanted, that's just these legs is like an old bench, and they're terrible. They are so weak. It's just, you can't film on it because any slight knock and the whole table moves. Do you know that feeling? So I want to build a really hefty table that can take the weight. Well, not so much take the weight, but doesn't move around and bump and knock when I'm filming. So I hit my hip on it. It's got to hurt when I do so. If you say 3 to 4 years, it means you don't let your wall a full discharge. What is the lowest level you mean? The lowest level, what do you mean 3 to 4 years? I full discharge my bank twice a week. I would have taken out at least 400 amp hours last night out of a 600 amp hour battery. Don't you worry. I got hundreds of videos that show that I use my battery. I use the hell out of my battery. I got 8,000 watts on it. I cook at night time. Last night I was pulling 6,000 watts from my batteries, or 6,000 AC watts, not DC. I don't know what the DC amps were pulling from it or watts. It would have been considerable, and I often charge them at 10,000 watts when I want to be stupid as well. And the lowest level is like 2 volts, 2.5 volts. It does get lower than that. You need to shill some more to get another pip for the back wall. I want to provide content rather than shill, but if you want to shill, buy a t-shirt, an Average Joe t-shirt. Where's my new Average Joe t-shirt, Average Joe? Teespring have not sent it to Australia yet. I have got a new Average Joe t-shirt on order. Your 24 volts, so 7S. That battery there has been changed to 24 volt. It was 48 volt, but my big house battery is 48 volt. So that's 4,480 18650 cells, making 40 kilowatt hours and approximately 600 amp hours of usable storage. Raylectech Trick. Hey, what's up? Welcome, buddy. How are you? How big is your Powerwall setup, mate? What's your peak voltage, for example, in the same environment? Okay, so I just covered that. My Powerwall is 40 kilowatt hours of usable storage. Peak voltage, what do you mean by voltage? I mean, it's 450, I think 57.4 is where I take it up to. 57.4 sounds about right. Yeah, so that's what that is. Those in the back are ADP. Yes, they are. Just wanted to say you have inspired me to create my own content. Awesome. Thanks for keep going and what you're doing. Am I subscribed to your channel, Ray? Go to channel. Oh, I did it in the chat again, which kills my chat. It just killed my chat. How can I go back? Can I go back? Back. There we go. We got the chat back. I'll have a look at that later, buddy. I promise I will. Oh wow, they've got pinned at the top. I didn't even see that until I refreshed it. In showcasing their merchandise. Geez, that does look like shilling. Buy a t-shirt. On that particular t-shirt, I make $3 if you use 18650 as a discount code. On other stuff, there is more, I since found out, but I don't know how to change it. Some of them are a hoodie. I think I make $8 to $10 USD on, or something like that. How big is your power? I just wanted to inspire me. Thank you very much. Thank you, 7S80P. So 80 by 200 milliamp hours, 160 amp hours. Oh, something like that. But it's more like 2,400 behind me. They're about an average of 2,400. Those sounds like SZN specials. 1860 to shrink. Why are you not a moderator? Can someone put him on as a moderator, please? Or am I the only one that can do that? Add moderator. There you go, Keith. Why were you not a moderator? That doesn't make any sense. But I've had my mod status removed. I didn't do it. I want to build one just like yours set up. Roughly the cost. What cost of the battery and BMS? So the battery, the BMS is whatever you buy. I mean, the base BMS is about $1,000, give or take. And the battery cost, it depends on what you buy the batteries for. Total cost of mine was about $12,000, but some batteries I got for free, some I sold a heap in order to discount the ones that I had. YouTube income and all that sort of stuff come into play. So it depends on your location, what you have access to, what you already have. Because your batteries and your BMS are only the start, you've got inverters and tools and soldering irons and spot welders if you want to go that way. bus bar material, nickel, copper, whatever. So again, roughly, mine's $12,000. What's your day job? I'm a computer technician. This is my white legs. But this is my workshop, and this is where I work every day. And I've got a little heads up for anybody wanting to make this look good and grow old. Please don't do it. It's annoying the shit out of me. It's coming off my face. I don't think only you. I don't see any options. LOL. It doesn't let me add a mod. Well, that answers that question. I'm pretty blank. So Pete, what critters live? So Pete, what kind of critters live in your batteries? Is that some sort of play on words there, Keith? Daddy longlegs and redbacks. Oh, there's plenty of redbacks down there, that's for sure. And daddy longlegs, plenty of geckos. Dan, that's a lot of money. Is that setup worth it? Absolutely, Dwayne. I think I did a video some time back that showed in 18 months, combined with YouTube income, combined with power, actual electricity savings, combined with affiliate links up until that time, in that 18-month period, it was actually paid for, that $10,000, $12,000. So absolutely worth it. I loved every minute of it. I learnt a lot. The community's learnt a lot, I think, from it as well. So not bad at all, I reckon. What have we got? So who else has got projects out there that we can have a chat about or see or something like that? Like, has anybody else got their like a YouTube project out there that they can share with us? Long hair suits you? No. Oh, actually, no. I like the long hair, but I don't think it suits me anymore. Receding hairline and all that is not a good thing. Got sidetracked for 37 seconds. Got someone messaging me. Had to tell them I'm live. I'm sorry, I can't sit around and chat. How much a kilowatt hour from the grid? So I use from the grid. Wait a minute. Rather than guessing, I'm going to try and show people. JD, did you use my discount code to save 10%? So I've used, I've got $36 and I've used 173. So I've used 137. I got 100. My actual bill is $137.29 at the moment. Usage. Where's my usage? Daily. You want daily usage? So what do we got? We've got it. So that's cost. I got kilowatt hours. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but green. The green is solar, and the orange is from the grid. So there's some days there's 16 kilowatt hours from the grid. I think that's the case. Yeah, on the second and the third, we used about 15 kilowatt hours from the grid. It really makes you wonder how much I pull from these batteries every day, and solar, because I've got self usage as well. So that's just through the night. Yesterday was a good day for solar. We sold 16 kilowatt hours or so to the grid, so that's not bad. 16.5 kilowatt hours from the grid to the grid, and 7 from the grid. You can see it up the top there under daily. I don't even know if you can see that 720p. Probably not worth it. You'll have to take my word for it. Um, now I like the beard. I like the look of the beard. It just tickles my nose constantly, and I'm constantly doing this and trying to move the hairs and get them to grow downwards. It's just like this manscaping nightmare. And I've never had a beard before, so this is a first for Pete. What we got? How much from the Pete? What kind of wrap foil do you use? What do you mean wrap foil DIY projects? I don't understand. I'll be plus 100 kilowatt hours in a couple of months. That's a staggering figure, eh? I mean, I know I got 40 kilowatt hours, but I have no intention of making it any bigger until I have somewhere to actually put it that looks good and works. If I could go bigger, I probably would, but I wouldn't make it a priority. I would just put more solar on. I'd probably put another 10 kilowatt of solar on so I could just charge the batteries faster. Only about Powerwalls. I just started mine. Awesome. I love to know if you've actually, if I've hold. Damn energy supply keeps extending my build date. I don't know why that is. When you make a new setup, I will be watching from day one, mate. Well, that's if you look at this one. Oh, that's not really a new setup, but I've been documenting that in the last couple of videos. It's the cleanest battery build ever. I think I've got 3 videos up. I'm working on the 4th now. Just dropped off packages at the post office, relaxing in the car before going home. It's warmer in the car. About 1.5 kilowatt hours. That is not very much. My grid electricity is 12p per kilowatt hour. That doesn't sound like very much money at all. I pay 26 or 27 cents per kilowatt hour, I think. But then there's like GST and discounts and everything else. So it's hard. I think they gear it so it's actually really hard to work out what your actual discount is. You said a lifetime for the wall is 3 to 4 years. No, I think no, I was hoping to get 3 to 5 years out of the inverter. I reckon these cells will still be usable with maintenance. There's going to be some that break, but I reckon my Powerwall will still be going 8 to 10 years later. And if it is, I am going to be staggered, and there's lots of people I'm going to be able to tell I told you so to. And look, it's looking good so far. The only reason it's not is if someone drives through the fence and smashes it and takes it out. You know what I mean? But that's not my fault. I understand that's for a single cell life item, right? So to attain such a long term, you have to keep cells at the right temperature and middle charge level. Absolutely. So my question is, what is the lowest discharge you have let you go to the wall? So the lowest discharge I've let go to my wall is about 40 volts. Several times I've had a handful go to 0 volts. Some of the lower capacity cells. But you know, you've got to understand that I built my Powerwall years ago before any of you guys jumped on board, and I was one of the cool kids at the beginning. Let's face it, I didn't know what I was doing. I was sort of relying on a whole heap of kind of related material on the internet, combined with guesswork and good luck. And in the early days, I built some shitty quality packs. The repacker wasn't available. As the community evolved, the hive mind got much better ways of doing it. And then when I was doing it in the early days, I didn't care about how long the Powerwall was going to last. There was no cause or consideration or anything for that. All I cared about was releasing the next video. I didn't care. I was throwing packs together just so it looked good on the wall or looked good on the bench. I did some stupid shit like put 1600 milliamp hour cells in there just to make the pack full. So I did lots of stuff like that in the early days. And as a result, I now have a battery that I actually have to do a lot more maintenance on. The next battery that I do with the NCR 18650s, the grey panos, that is going to be a pack that I hope will last 15 years, because I'm going to build that the best possible way that every single person has put forward over the past couple of years that I can build this thing. It is going to be on point for every single safety and legal and environmental. As I'm going to do that as perfectly as I possibly can, and as a result, that's going to take me months and months and months to build, because I've got to film and edit it as well, which really takes a toll. I mean, to put that up on the wall, not film and edit it, 6 hours, the way I want to do it. To film and edit and talk to people about all that, weeks. Weeks and weeks and weeks. Because I've got to have the spare time to do it as well. I'm stuck on the first step, getting sales packs, doing it like average Joe, lots using a miter saw. Oh God, that sounds like a horrible way of doing it. I mean, it was a good way of trying to do it, but the cell holders are so cheap. Go to 18650shrink.com and just buy them. Do yourself a favor, and you won't lose your soul when you're building your packs. At Pete, do you have a video of the very first day turning on the lithium packs? Turning on? If you searched for 4-hour live feed in my videos, I did a live feed of the very first pack that I did, and I run it for 4 hours solid at 1000 watt load on a live feed. Yeah, so that was like 4 kilowatt hours, and then I lowered the draw to 100 watts, and then overnight it went to another 10 hours at 100 watts. So that added up to 5 kilowatt hours. So that's has always been how I worked out my the size of my battery bank. I'm fairly sure that's it. I'm not going to search for it now. Pete, electric FZR here. I love the live streams. Thank you, Xerophobia, for tuning in. And that electric FZR, if that's in Australia, please bring it here so I can go for a ride. Or tell me where it is and I'll come for a drive. Pete, how many years do you expect your cells to last at full use? Hopefully, maybe 8 to 10 years with maintenance. So they're not all going to last that long. But my car's oil filter doesn't last as long as my car, so that's fine. Any progress with electric motorbike? Yes. The wife has approved me to spend $1,000 on the motor. And I'm just going to get, like I shared a few months ago, I'm just going to get that pre-built motor with the gearbox and everything, and then bolt it straight into my bike. Many people have said that that's stupid, it's not going to provide enough power and all that sort of stuff. To be honest, I don't care. I'm going to build the battery within specs of the motor. I'm not going to overclock it or anything like that. And look, and if I can't ride it safely, maybe my kids can. I'm going to go out and buy a specific frame again for it, and so build it around weight. The only thing I don't know is how I'm going to mount the battery and make it look good. I'm thinking about cutting the tank and then mounting the battery in 2 packs underneath the tank, and then fiberglass, even though I've never done fiberglass under the batteries, and sort of make a saddlebag type of arrangement. I know lots of people have done it, but I certainly never have, so it'll be a new thing for me. Hey Pete, do you know what is the maximum DC voltage we can legally play with in Australia is? I absolutely do know that. It is 50 volts for AC, and DC it is 120 volts. Hence the reason, coming off my roof, I've got 118 volts of DC off the solar panels on here. So I've got 3 panels in series or parallel. I get them mixed up. That's been proven before. Mike Naka, I already have the cells, so it's either use them or go bigger, or let them sit in storage and deteriorate. Or you can sell them and cash in. Okay, we'll do 18650 wrap. Go to 18650shrink.com. If Keith is still in the room, he will provide a link because he owns that workshop, that shop. He's just finished doing a whole heap of deliveries for Shed Shop as well. And I guarantee you'll get them fast, cheap, reliably, and individually checked. Chris checked it. I just received 2 kilowatt charger from China. It's crazy good. Awesome. Do you use pre-cut or a roll? No, you don't. Don't kill yourself with a roll. Go pre-cut. Go to Keith. Just go to Keith. 8650shrink.com. You get bags like this with thousands in it. I don't even. Oh, that's actually 1,000. There you go. 1,000 pieces. And I bet you, I've never even read that before. I've had that here for a year or something. But I bet you if you counted them out, there'd be exactly 1,000 in there. Or at least extremely close. They wouldn't be under. Are you measuring the capacity loss? I can monitor the capacity loss guesstimately. I guess that's a word. Just because I've done so many YouTube videos, I can just go back to an older YouTube video and do a load test and go, oh, that's bad. Or with my bait room, obviously, I can just replace cells as they are low. But typically, I just leave them there. I should do a lot more maintenance than I actually do. But the whole thing is to make these cells second life storage. So use them until they can't be used anymore safely. Can I use a step-up module on a Powerwalls? You can use that if you so wish. However, you have to accept the losses involved with that. But that's everything. There's losses in everything we do. And that's super cheap. I have to pay 32 cents, so around 35 US. What was that for, Jenny? 35 US. At DIY project, I have mine special cut. When you are going to start testing main switch mode power supplies with direct 48 volt DC. That's another one I've planned, high tech guy. And that was with that power supply. I've got heaps of power supplies. I've got like 1,000 watt power supplies under the bench here that I don't use from Bitcoin miners and stuff like that. However, I think I'll be using one in my next build, my next computer build. But yeah, I haven't done much with that, mainly because I don't know how to hook the power in. You know, I'm scared of doing that sort of stuff. I don't want to blow anything up. I have a hefty bull bar. Do you need an insurance claim? I'm kidding, of course. No. Can you imagine my insurance claim? I'd be spending 12 months actually doing said insurance claim. It wouldn't be worth it. I'm a bit behind. Hey guys, if you found a way of Pete's videos helpful, help click that like button. Oh, thanks, Keith. That is a fantastic idea. Smashing that like button actually helps a lot. So does commenting on all the videos. If I don't get comments, it's just like my CPM just falls in the toilet. Some videos I may as well not even do any maybe do any content. It's like $1. I remember how early vids was watching when he's still running on leaded volts. Yes. Who liked that last video that I released with the blast from the past? And is that something that you would like to see more of, me just rehashing an old video? Because I've got like, I don't know, maybe 20 terabytes of YouTube backups of every single video I've ever done somewhere. It's probably more than 20 terabytes because there's probably backups of backups, or double ups or triple ups even. But I can do them if you want to. I should re-release my very first video I did when I started the Powerwall. I think that would actually make some interesting viewing for the new people. Pete, do you Swaffen Yusuf? Pete, do you alert that you will do a live video unless a Facebook you must have? I don't know because no damn way I'm missing you now. Still watching 2 videos you back. No, I don't usually do any alerts or anything like that. I just sort of decide, like I get up in the morning and go, I should go and do a live feed. I'm bored. Or there's also the case where it's my YouTube thing is going down and I need the money. So doing a live feed sometimes gives me a couple extra bucks that I wouldn't have had before. So there is that case as well. Let's have a vid on your solar setup, please. John White, would you like just a video on just the solar or all the other bits of it as well? I think I did one the other day, like a walk around update of everything I've got. But if you want one just on the solar, I can do that. But I do plan on upgrading my solar very, very soon. Okay, 40 volts is rather high charge level at discharge. Please show us your calculations for house consumption in the evening, or is it free to use strict rules? I'm convinced that you're using the wrong terminology, or I am. Using a frame for the bike for a battery case. Yeah, I wanted to actually get a little bit of weight up a little bit higher. Well, no, actually, no, thinking about that. I was thinking about using the tank, that space inside of the tank for batteries. I guess a lot of the weight would be lower anyway. The only thing I don't like about the bike is, and the one thing that worries me is I don't have the engineering skills or anything to build the battery box. So I have got a welder around here somewhere, like a little stick welder. And I do have a friend that, well, is just a little bit qualified to weld, but I'm scared of the negative effects that could have on stuff. So, because it needs to be on point, right? It really does. Pete, what motor are you getting? I use the DC ME 10 kilowatt continuous 30. This one's only 4,000 watt. Also, what battery are you using for your bike? I went lithium titanate for long life. So Xerophobia, I think I'm going to be using something from Battery Hookup, just because I want to keep the theme of second life batteries, not new. But I also have the idea, because I'm only using it as a race bike, so I only need 15 minutes per race at full noise. So I need to get from 0 to about 110 kilometers an hour max, as fast as humanly possible, and or carry some speed really comfortably through the corners. It's yet to be proven how that'll actually work, but have a nice day. Welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll actually go out and find a link. I do have the link here for that motor. Solid state SSD. Where is it? Premium, factory direct, StreamYard, Cumulus, Mount Cootha, 48 volt. I'm one of these people with so many favorites. It just becomes almost impossible. Factory strict, continuous liquid cooled motor. What's that one? Karting. I think that might have been one that someone sent me last time. Yeah, someone sent me this one to actually make a motor. No, let's not go to Facebook. Someone sent me that one. I think last time I talked about it, and that's just like this beast. But to be honest, that's probably USD. So that's 15. That's almost $6,000 by the time it lands in Australia, I reckon. And that's a lot of money for a little pit bike. I can't justify that at all. It'd be great for a big bike, but not for a little bike, not at all. Okay, so Osmo. I have so many favorites, it's just stupid. No, I can't find it. Well, I can't see it quickly, and that means I can't find it. It must be here somewhere. No, it's gone. But anyway, it's a pit bike motor that actually bolts into like a Honda style mounting system. So that is sort of what I'll be using for that project. I'm pretty sure I've completely lost where I was up to. If I go all the way to the bottom, will anybody be upset if I just miss out on a whole heap? I'll scroll up a bit and seeing if I can find it. Are you still running the miners? What happened to them all? Most miners, well, most miners that were always here were customers, so it's not really mine. I have one miner left, but unfortunately it's only got one card left because I had 5 RX 580s. I got one on my kid's computer, one in that computer, one on that computer, and one on the computer over there. And then one left in the miner. And the miner's only still set up so I can run configuration tests for clients that I still work on. So, loving the shirt. Thank you, Mark. If you want one, go to Teespring and type in Average Joe. He's got new ones that isn't here yet, unfortunately. Can you recommend any chargers for up to 48 volt lithium, preferably one with multiple charge voltage and settings? Well, I use the PIP. It is not designed for lithium, but it does work, and that's the only one I've ever worked. The PIP inverter and the PCM60X, which are those ones. So I've got 2 of them, and one of them is as old as all of my Powerwall stuff, and it's still going. Nikon, I'm famous. Joe White, you probably are. I just probably missed why you're famous. What do we got? Can you get the wife to help you run the video setup? No, she doesn't want to. Has absolutely no interest in doing anything with it. Yes, the old video was fun to watch. Okay, well that's interesting. Does anybody else feel the same way about that old video? If he's qualified, he won't want to use a stick welder. I am not at all even close to qualified. You don't need to be an engineer to build a battery box. Check out my channel. I built my own. Check out my channel. I had no experience whatsoever. But I'm going to be using on the Xerophobia. So I get that, but I'm going to be running on a track, right? And if you look at any of my old, if you go back in time on my YouTube channel, you see all my old videos. I'm nuts. I wear out my knee pads before I wear out my tires, right? So I get my ass off the seat and my knee on the ground. I use the throttle as a small micro switch. It's on or off. I am absolutely brutal on the throttle. So my front wheel is in the air. My rear wheel is sliding. I put it into a wall just because that's the fastest way to get around a corner. Well, I try not to do that, but so I've got to build to my riding style, and my riding style is brutal at best. So I have to take into consideration those mounting points and stuff are going to be fairly well utilized. Like there's going to be a lot of movement and a lot of weight in that battery. Unless I ask Tom to see if we can work out shipping to get some of those pouch cells that he's got, and they would be nice and light with fairly good energy density. What about, I wonder about headways. I wonder if I could do headways and actually do it in a vented box, almost like an intercooler type setup or something, so the air's forced through the box. That'd be an interesting way of doing it. Food for thought. Anyway, I really don't, I don't have the budget for that yet. It's just been approved to actually spend it when I do. Small world, I've been in DIY Facebook group for over a year and been dabbling with battery packs since 2018. Worked for Elgato Gaming, makers of Stream Deck. Oh, awesome. I should have reached out for a freebie. It'd be interesting to get it set up. So I can't wait to get it set up. It should be good. It's only the Mini. What's worse is I paid like $100 on eBay for that. And the next day on Gumtree, somebody was selling one secondhand, a full one, for $80. I should have bought it and just sold this one on again. It's an interesting how we've got a small world like that. Elgato Gaming, that's, I should have a look at that. I saw my live on a, wait a minute, Last I saw, they were on a shelf gathering dust about 5 meters to the left of where I'm sitting now. Check out QS Motors for portable hub motor. Okay, I'm just going to copy that because that's the sort of information I really need. I got to build something. The first one I want to build easy and cheap. John White, John White, John White, John White, John White, John White. There you go. Now you're famous. I probably wouldn't class that as famous. Can someone say my name, please? Well, it's been fun. Have to go. Thank you very much, Chris. See you later. And thank you very much for tuning in. And at Pack Shrink. Pete, another question. Why do you need fully charge and discharge? I mean, because you're first going to check with your multimeter, then why don't you fully charge the long mobs and continue? I don't understand the context of your question. I fully charge and, well, I don't fully charge my batteries. I charge them to 4.1 volts and then I discharge them to whatever they go down to. Unfortunately, a lot of the times I'm doing testing or filming when they go really low and I turn the safety stuff off. So my Batrium's turned off. Well, my Batrium's turned on, but I turn off my shunt trip because I want to test something or I want to know how low something goes. And they go to 0 volts or whatever then. I don't like doing that and I don't do it deliberately, but it does happen and you move on and I accept those whoops moments. How do you cap in your house consumption? I use my Batrium to do my consumption. I'd show you, but my modem down there needs resetting and that is buried deep behind this wall because it is a EOP for the modem down there. Ethernet over power. I don't think it's magically reset itself. No, it hasn't. I'll have to go down there and pull the power out of it manually and put it back in, or the Ethernet cable. I've got a I don't even know what it is down there, but it's Ethernet over power, and because it comes 50 or 60 meters with the Ethernet over power up to my shed here, there's something behind here that every time I restart my router inside my house, I have to disconnect it and reconnect it to get it all to reconnect again. I'm probably doing something wrong. We've got a bunch of plugins on the more actions list for advanced functions. That's pretty neat. I will definitely check that out. I'll try and make a video about setting it up as well. Should be a fun one to do. Don't do headway old tech. If you want to stay with lithium manganese, just go to high power 8050 like your drill and vape batteries. They have best energy density of all lithium. Energy density, yeah. I guess that's a good reason to actually buy new cells as well, I guess. But QS motors are beefy. They look beefy. P-O-O-P. That almost sounds sexual. I was thinking about building a velomobile with QS 150, 1500s. If then, Pete, if I skip the discharge part, what will happen then? Dude, what do you... Sorry, it's so disjointed. I don't know what you... Are you talking about building the battery in the first place? Or are you talking about cycling it and in normal use? Unfortunately, the chat's very disjointed. Disneus is showing today, Pete. I do believe it is. Not sure what a voltmeter but is. I haven't heard the complaints about the QS. I've heard lots of good things about the QS. Whenever you do, I'll be sure to share it with the team. Awesome. Auto handshake issue. I have no idea. Wifey's off to work. She looks completely destroyed. I mean, I should show her her face so she can see what everyone else is seeing. There you go. She's doing advertising to exactly 40 people. Have a fun day at work, love. Have you got air conditioning?
Fucking hope so.
You're not allowed to fucking swear on camera.
Got to do coffee first.
Coffee first.
Coffee. Got me balloons, got me speakers, got me water.
You want to take the kids as well?
Nope. Fuck that shit. No.
You're not allowed to fucking swear on camera. I'll get demonetized.
And you're swearing.
I'm not fucking swearing.
Alright.
Righto.
Then I'll go to Woolies.
Love ya. Oh, I just got... no, I can't even say that on camera. I'll get in trouble. Coke and snacks. Please. M&M peanuts. I don't know if I'm getting snacks. This is terrifying. Snacks are important to my life. What? I lost a whole heap of viewers. What's going on? Wifey walks in and everyone disappears? That's not good. Anyway, and on that note, if she's going to work, I better go and look after the kitties. Swearing is a completely natural thing around here, but I really try hard not to do it on camera, except, well, then, but anyway. Before building, I start with cells to check with a multimeter. So, oh dear God, right, let me go through this, buddy. I've done a video, right? We call it cell 5. Hashtag CELL5. Go onto Facebook, type that in. Now, cell 5 is a test that I did building a battery without doing any other testing other than testing the initial voltage of the cell, right? I'll break this up a little bit. The initial voltage of the cell, the heat of the cell when it was charging, and whether or not it's self-discharged or not. So I did 3 very comprehensive tests, right? The first thing I've got to say is the first point is the starting voltage of the cell means absolutely fucking nothing. It has no bearing on the sun rotating around the earth whatsoever, or vice versa, right? You need to capacity test every single cell, charge and discharge, at least 1000 milliamps. Now, there's some people that do it at 500 milliamps, but I personally recommend, and it seems to be the community standard, that you go to 1000 milliamps. Now, what that does is it stresses the battery in a more realistic way. It points out a heater, so something that gets hot under charge and discharge loads. And it's also a lot faster than doing 500 milliamp hours. And if you've got a lot of cells to test, that's an important metric. Pardon me. So I did a whole range of tests testing a battery that was only done like that. Now, it did work, and it did work for a good several months. But within 6 months, I had 3 heaters. Within 12 months, I had 7 heaters. And they were self-discharging the pack so fast that I think I worked it out in the end, before I gave the pack away to somebody else to do more testing on. It actually could self-discharge the pack if I reconnected all the fuses in a matter of days. And this was an 80p pack, so even a poorly built 80p pack was about 120 amp hours. So it was absolutely horrible idea, and it's a dumb idea. Now, there is also somebody else in the community that built a car the same way, an electric vehicle the same way, built thousands upon thousands of cells. I did that video because he did that. I called him out on it. I said, look, that's a bad thing you're doing and all that sort of stuff. It's not going to work. I'm not sure what went down, but he went quiet and the car's disappearing and missing from YouTube now. So I'm fairly sure that his idea with those recycled batteries failed dismally because he didn't capacity test them. So that was a really long rant, but it's something I'm compassionate about. You must do everything in your financial power to test these cells as much as you can. So please do that. If you don't have the ability to do that, by all means, do whatever you can. But accept the associated risks and the reduced lifespan of those cells. So on that note, with that rant, I am starting to drip with sweat, and I have to go and look after these kids. Dave, do you have a high temperature cutoff in your shed? If so, the batteries see too hot of a temperature, the base unit disconnects, and if so, what is the temp? So my temperature cutoff, I think, is like 60 degrees. So with the Batrium, I have 2 temperature sensors on each cell, which means I have approximately, including with the shunt and the monitor, I have almost 120 temperature sensors. All of those temperature sensors can turn my batteries off for too cold or too hot if I so choose. but I've never had that problem. I mean, I was down there yesterday and the inverter temperature was 51 degrees, and that will be the video that I'm doing today. Inverter temperature was 51 degrees and the ambient temperature within the shed was about 42 degrees. And that's on the south side of my house with almost no sun can reach the shed whatsoever. And with the door shut, with 2 inverters and a charge controller running in there, one fan, because I since found out my other fans have been disconnected, aren't working for some reason, and 1 fan ventilating it, and that's obviously on the battery room as well. So when the temperature goes too high or too low, it turns the fan on and off as needed. So it does regulate the temperature a little bit. I do have a 48 volt fan here that comes out of a server, and it will pump an incredible amount of air. And I'm thinking about putting in, I've got 2 of these ant miners from years back. So Bitcoin miners. I've got these 2 fans. These are only 12 volt fans. I'll have to work something out. But these create hurricane force winds. They are incredibly powerful. And what I was considering doing with these is sometime down the track is using them for like a third way of controlling heat, in the fact that if it got to say 50 degrees with a temperature sensor, it'd turn those on and just flood the battery shed with fresh air. But I guess that has a drawback. If there's a fire or something like that, it would just feed the fire as well, because the temperature would go up and that would happen. So also, but I mean, if the battery room burnt up, if it completely burnt up, it would actually turn off the fans anyway. The relays would stop working and the wires would go south. So who knows? Thoughts on using Sanyos in your packs? Okay, Kurt. I don't use them at all. I'm actively going through and removing every single Sanyo from every single pack I've ever built. Up until recently, the only cells that I had that went south were Sanyo cells. But recently I had an NCR 18650 Pano Grey that was 2,900 milliamp hours when I put it in, and that went 0 volts, so dead short or whatever. Well, no, not 0 volts, because it was self-discharging the rest of the battery and then heating up. So Sanyos, I would prefer not to. I know that Mike Nacko uses a lot of Sanyos and had a huge amount of success with them. I have not had that same success. In fact, I can't sit here and do what I've done and know what I know and use what I've used without saying don't use Sanyos. But that might be a geographical thing. It might be because all the cells here get too hot or whatever. Over in America, maybe that's not so bad. I'm not sure. Sanyos don't work in Queensland. 140F, that seems like a little bit warm. I have 20 P7S pack with Sanyo cells for outdoor lights. None of them have failed in 18 months later, still going strong. That's awesome. Sanyos are fine, just test them like all others. Some recover from heaters, some don't. I've never seen one come back from being a heater. Once a heater, always a heater. Tail end Charlie, D-Tech, hey, welcome. I guess I'll use them for smaller projects. I'm in Queensland, hashtag. So you've got great internet as well. It might get to 50 soon in Australia. I reckon that's actually pretty close. There's a fireball you can put in the power wall for area for fire extinguisher. Yeah, that'll do fire, but it won't do thermal runaway. Did you just say? I also put a caveat there, Mike. I did say Mike uses them. If possible, can you do it all-in-one video starting from building one battery pack, starting with cells and discharge, then building? I've already done that. Have a look at my playlists. There's a playlist 18650 beginner. There's a few in there that run you through that process. Test them properly. Great cells. Sanyo's next video going out. Uploading now. Awesome, guys. Thank you. I'm dripping. I'm hot. It's getting uncomfortable. My throat's drying out, and I could die soon. So to avoid that, I am going to run away, go inside to air-conditioned house. I will chat to you all later. Thank you very much. If you're still here, please smash that like button. It provides an extra 0.01 of a cent, and my wife really appreciates it. So thank you very much for tuning in. My door just shut, and that's my airflow. I'll see yous on the next one.